So I parked my car, stepped out. It was still night. Everything was silent. But suddenly I heard someone whispering. Who was here at this time of night here? There was a garden next to where I had parked. So I peeked through the bushes and I saw a boy and girl sitting over there in the garden enjoying the moonlit night, probably startled by the arrival of my car. I smiled and stepped back, not wanting to invade their privacy. But then I heard another noise, the sound of an approaching car, and a jeep came to stop right near me. And out of the jeep stepped two men dressed in royal fatigues. They were the royal guards. And I was afraid. Had they followed me? But then I tried to calm myself down. No one really knew that I was coming to Khurrambagh tonight. So what the hell were they doing over there? Those two royal guards were looking around as if they were searching for someone. They too heard the whispering from the garden and went in there to investigate. The poor couple should have really chosen a better spot tonight. I took this opportunity to head off, to sneak off to the market. And while I navigated the narrow lanes and climbed over the potholes, I racked my brain. What the hell were the guards doing over here? I mean, the royal guards are usually with the royal family, protecting them, as the palace is quite far from here. So what exactly were they doing here at this point of time, at this time of the night? But then I came to the market and I forgot all about it. The roar of Khurrambagh welcomed me. This is the first thing that hits you, the noise. Not the narrow streets, not the crowded streets, not the multicolored lamps, the noise. No one speaks softly in Khurrambagh. The customers shout at shopkeepers, the shopkeepers are shouting at each other. Even if two friends meet each other, they would first hurl abuses at each other and then laugh loudly and hug each other till at least a couple of people were knocked down. And the person who comes for the first time to Khurrambagh might be forgiven for thinking that everyone in Khurrambagh hates each other. But that's not true. This noise is like the soul and the music of Khurrambagh. I walked through the streets and I marveled at the centuries-old houses and shops. I'm still amazed at how they are standing. The locals say black magic, and some really do believe it. And I have to admit that there is something to it. There is a different kind of energy in Khurrambagh. While undeniably a part of Mehsana, it cannot be more different. While the Mehsana is well laid out, well thought out, modern planned city, Khurrambagh is chaos, pure chaos, centuries of chaos. For example, when I was walking through the streets, I saw there was a ladies' clothes shop. They were having a kind of a sale going on there, and there was a crowd of women and girls haggling with the shopkeepers. Right next to the shop, there was another shop which sold, can you guess, weapons and swords. Large men, mustachioed men, bearded men stood over there outside the shop, having the swords sharpened and admiring the latest gun. You can't see this kind of sight anywhere else in Mehsana. They say that if you have the right amount of money, you can buy anything in Khurrambagh. Anything. I saw Munna and his gang standing by a shop. When they saw me, they smiled as if they were having a private joke of sorts. Munna was a natural leader. I had met him a couple of years back. I knew his father, in fact. He managed and looked after my horses. One day he came to me and said that a local goon was harassing him. So I took care of the problem. And now that goon is safely locked behind the bars. Since then, Munna and his father have been my friends. There is very little that happens in Khurrambagh that Munna does not know. Who is bringing in stolen goods? Which gangs are going to fight? He knows everything. He is ready with the information for a price, of course. And I don't mind. I want information. He needs money. Nothing is free over here. I said to him, "So Munna, have you found out where Lakira is coming?" Munna and his boys laughed. I said, "What's the joke?" Munna said, "Nothing. Come on, Riyan, we'll take you where he's coming." So we started to walk. Munna said, "You know, Riyan, we have a news for you." And I said, "What?" "I found out that Lakira will be bringing the statue that you want." I said, "What? That's great. How did you find that out?" Munna shrugged as if that was nothing. He said, "My boys heard his men talking. I think they said that Lakira was planning to unload the statue tonight. He has a buyer lined up. So, if you want to steal the statue, tonight's the night." Well, that was obviously the plan. But this new information had created a sense of urgency now. I could not let Golden Dowser slip away from my